Should Breeze topic number 5 says female rap is a PsyOp. This takes us to YouTube. We're going to watch about 5 minutes of this video, and then we'll discuss it.
I want to know, do your kids listen to your music?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Female rap has got to go. We are literally witnessing a complete degradation of Black women. And quite frankly, it is spilling over into other communities as well. And they're all doing it willingly, proudly, which is disgusting. The image of a Black woman used to come with pride, with power, with dignity. Now the image have been hijacked and traded in for prostitution music, stripper culture, and social media stupidity. What we're watching isn't just embarrassing. It is spiritual decay dressed up as empowerment. And I'm sorry to say this. Actually, I'm not sorry. These women need to be stopped. And to be clear, this isn't just about music. This is about identity. This is about influence. This is about the children coming up being programmed to think that this is okay, that this is cool because their mothers and aunties and grandmothers have already been programmed by the system to see wisdom as weakness and whoredom as strength. The behavior coming from these female rappers, these people that are encouraging it, it is all disgusting. And this is not to say that male rap isn't disgusting too, but let's be real. The men aren't the ones that's raising these children. And I'm saying, if Black women will embrace someone like Sexy Red into the community, celebrating her, a girl that sells gonorrhea lip glosses, raps about hoochie coochie, and just glorifies dysfunction like it's some type of cultural currency, then the culture has no hope. We are in full cultural collapse, and everyone should be alarmed. Let's stop calling it female rap and call it what it really is. Prostitution music. These women aren't just rapping, they're marketing dysfunction, they're branding disease, yellow discharge lip gloss, gonorrhea lip gloss, literally STDs turned into brand identities and sold back to little girls as empowerment. And Sexy Red is the main perpetrator of this. She's the face of it. She's the one that's pushing it. She's the one they allow to sell the dysfunction to them and their children. And the problem is they don't see nothing wrong with it. They don't boycott her, but they want to boycott Target. It is completely disgusting. Even Jennifer Hudson brought her on her show, The Jennifer Hudson Show, a grown woman with a platform and an EGOT, an Emmy, a Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony, sitting across from a girl who glorifies STDs and prostitution and embracing her like she's a role model. Let's go ahead and take a look at that exchange.
She met my son.
He's so sweet and handsome.
Thank you.
You got a good.
He was like, "Can you make him a video?" Because I have my son and like 7 of his cousins. In this past summer, I want to say they wanted to come see Sexy Red. Was it at the Chicago Festival?
Yeah.
They're music kids. So thank you for making my son's day. They would never forget it. I want to know, do your kids listen to your music?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
The fact that Jennifer Hudson lets her child listen to Sexy Red is all you need to know. They are trying to sell you the idea that this is normal, that this is okay. This is how the elite work. They do not sell dysfunction directly. They use familiar faces to do it. So when you see someone like Jennifer Hudson co-signing it, you think it's okay. You think, well, if she approves, it must be fine. It is not okay. It is not fine. And I'm going to be honest. I think Jennifer Hudson is going right along with the elite's agenda. You don't just get an EGOT like that. That is not a small achievement. It is actually extremely rare. Yes, she has a beautiful voice. I'll give her that. But let's really think about, like, have we seen enough of a body of work to justify all of that? Because something kind of feels off to me. I could be wrong. But just in her life, when she was obese, before she was skinny.
If you didn't kill Jennifer Hudson's family, who did?
I don't know. I mean, I could sit here and speculate to many names and just throw them out there to you. It still won't solve it.
Now all of a sudden she's skinny, she has an EGOT, and she's sitting across on a talk show, her own talk show, praising Sexy Red. Interesting. Really interesting. This is how you know the industry doesn't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care about your daughters. They only care about one thing: pushing dysfunction and protecting the puppets who do it the best. And what does the music actually teach? Be unreachable, be uncorrectable, show your body, ignore your kids, disrespect your men, and call that a win. But to be clear, the win is only for the system. The loss is ours. Everyday Americans lose because of this, not just Black people. Because while these women keep rapping about being independent and unbothered, they're dragging the image of Black femininity deeper into the gutter with every verse. And like I said, it's not just the young ones. It's the adult women, the 40-plus crowd, the aunties and the grandmas. Grandmas reposting it, mothers dancing to it, little girls have these lyrics memorized, but they cannot read a book. Amazing.
Amazing. Isn't that what Jesse Lee Peterson likes to say? Amazing. Female rap is a PsyOp. That should be his topic number 5 tonight. Let me mix it up again. Let me start with Kofi. If Kofi is there, Kofi, what are your thoughts?
I did not. Wow, the bottom of the barrel is not the bottom of the barrel. She let her kids listen to her own. For you who don't know, Sexy Red, while she was pregnant, had a song called "Fuck My Baby Daddy." So she's letting her. What? Okay, I gotta get the only thing that I liked about Sexy Red. Like the only this is, you need to call ACS. Like, what the hell? The only thing, and I'm gonna move away from her because I need to spin this in a positive way. The only thing I like about Sexy Red is that she's a brown-skinned, dark-skinned woman that is calling herself sexy. I like that outlook of Black beauty being presented, but not in that way. So moving on. It is a PsyOp, and we have to hold this. Goes to accountability, Black accountability. And I've said this before, we are the only people on this planet where you could take our name, our image, and who we are and drag it through the mud. And everyone will just say, and your same Black people say, oh, it's just entertainment. What's the big deal? It's just a song. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm a big Chris Rock fan. Chris Rock, he had a stand-up one time. He was like talking about, how rap is. And he said the biggest critics, he said, look, he doesn't like how rap is. But he says, it's the most misogynistic genre of music. But he said, who's the biggest champions of listening to rap music besides white people is Black women. He said, you see a Black woman and the lyric be slap it with a dick, slap it with a dick, slap it with a dick, slap it with a dick. And you be like, what the hell? What are you doing?
Oh my God.
And she'd be like, well, what you mean? The beat sounds good. And what? He ain't talking about me. Slap it with a dick, slap it with a dick. And they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So I get there's a space. It should be a very small space for ratchetness, because they say Black people shouldn't be sexual or exhume their sexuality. That's stupid. But it going running rampant like this is insane. Now, look, I'm a part of the problem too. Going up, I like Little Kim growing up. I had the album with her squatting, and you saw I had that. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit part of the problem too. But at the same time, at least I'm not gonna say, well, this is a representative of what hip hop is. What a representative hip hop is when I was growing up is Queen Latifah, Moni Love, Sister Soldier, MC Light, Nikki D, The Real Roxanne, even Salt and Pepper. You know what I'm saying? You could, just like Chris Rock said in his stand-up, you could at least dissect the meaning of the positive meaning in the lyrics. But Chris Rock said, I know I'm stealing material, but I can't dissect and defend. I got different holes and different area codes. I can't defend that. I can't defend that. You know what I'm saying? And again, it all comes back to, again, it goes back to Black people is not a monolith, but at least can we agree to have some fucking form of self-respect? And what it is, I'm confident in saying that most Black people, young adults, would not want to do something like that, but they're always going to find a person that Sexy Red is a trash lyricist. It's not like, you know what? She got the gift of gab. You know what I'm saying? Her metaphors be killing it. Fuck my baby daddy. Fuck my baby daddy. Pop that coochie booty meat. No, that's just her saying shit. There's no lyrical genius or real MC content in that. So what it is a psyop. They're just marketing black dysfunction. We already know that white people already have a preconceived notion that black women and black people are hypersexualized, right? All this does is feed into that. And I'm very shocked and appalled. Out of all the people that were platformed, this would be Jennifer Hudson and saying that her son, like, this is so goddamn sad. Like, I don't know. I'm shocked. I'm gonna leave it to somebody. I'm just very shocked and disgusted right now. That's it. I'm done.
I feel you on that, Kofi. Thanks for that. By the way, the problem I have with Sexy Red's name is she could have been Sexy Black.
Repeat that. I didn't hear that. Repeat that. She's Sexy what?
Her name could have been Sexy Black, you know, as opposed to
true.
I
don't even know you can put me in.
I couldn't hear what I can say, but we're gonna go to I Can Find in a second. I'll just say a lot of times when female rappers even put black in their name is attached to some other type of shit, you know, Black China and all this kind of stuff. But I Can Find, what say you? Female rappers a psyop. What say you?
Hey man, thank you for gracing me like that, man. Hey, listen, man. As I told you, man, we have to take the red pill. We have to. It's like this. If this type of war, the war that we in, are if we want any victory or whatever, right? Is the females going to play a part? That's all that's what I want to know. Is the females going to play a part? Are we going to win without the females? And if not, shouldn't we really address these females? Our females, I want to say this now. Our females think the white man is stronger than us. Our females think the white man look better than us. Our female think the white man is better than us. Our female, since they conquered her in slavery, she has been working with the white man. You feel me? And she is doing everything to disgrace the black man and to make the black man less than her and the white man. You feel me? That's what's going on in the black female's mind psychologically, that she's not telling us, and she is teaching it. She is promoting it. She is teaching it to the boy child, and she's teaching it to the girl child. She is making she's the one making all these Negroes go to prison. You feel me? She's the one who is raising all these careless Negroes that be shooting each other. She's the one who who making GYs or YGs or what the hell ever. You feel me? She the one who going to prison for them. She become a warden to go deal with them. You feel me? And what I'm trying to say to you is she's trying to work with the white man in order to make the black man fail. You feel me? She don't want the black man. Her God is white. You feel me? She don't want the black man. This is the same thing. She don't want the black man to be lord over her and to be the ruler over her, over the white man. You feel me? That's why she's dishonoring us in her words and her behavior. The same one who is talking right now, that same one, she's part of the problem also. It's because it's getting shameful and she has a little shame, but she don't have no shame about her hair. Well, she's ashamed of her hair. You feel me? So how is she better? You feel me? When she's willing to make her children to raise her children and show her children that she don't love her own hair. And these wig wearing women that be raising sons and then be blaming the sons for going to white men when the sons never see their real hair before. You feel me? And then expect black loyalty. You feel me? That's why a lot of Negroes don't want no black woman, because his mama don't represent black woman. His mama is a colorist. You feel me? She's easy to red niggas, and she have manners only to white people and all that type of stuff. If you see her talk to the way she talked to the Negroes, and it's unbelievable. And they have a lot of respect to white people. You feel me? Black women have a lot of respect to white people. They even try to be better in relationship. White people can tell a white man in relationship with a black woman can tell her shut up. You feel me? And we get who you talking to like that? You feel me? That's what we get from our black women. But black women have respect and manners to white people. So we need to understand as men. You feel me? We need to understand as men. We need to organize, have our men's organization, and formulate ways to put our women in certain discipline, and also to acquire our own wealth. But as far as I see it, if you something has to happen on a drastic level, just like how they grabbed us in slavery, you feel me? And then they punish us, and then they break us, and then they ravage the black woman and transform her. They deal with her like a horse, like a mule. They whip the horse, and then they ride the horse. And if she's jumping and railing, they ride her until she stops jumping and railing. And that's how she can get that's how the horse become tame, and that's how they can make the wild pony come and eat, which is the son. You feel me? The black son come and eat out of the dude who conquered her mother. You feel me? Come and eat out of her hand, out of the owner's hands. So that's what happened to us as people over here in the West, where the mother tamed us, the men, to eat from the white people. We need to understand that how important the black woman is, how she can turn us into a nobody or turn us into a real, genuine man. And if we don't get a hold of how who is teaching these black women and how they raise, we as men are done for, because they are more powerful than us, because they have us on titties. We see them as gods when we are kids, when we are boys. And 5-year-old, 2-year-old, we see them as gods. Anything they say goes. And even now, men, they raise a whole army of idiot men that will dispose of you if you go up against a black woman. You feel me? Not caring about what she stands for. It don't matter. If you say anything opposition of the black woman right now, you have Negroes that will finish you off. You feel me? So okay, so the black woman is very important, and you see all the disgrace that she's working with the white man. Anything the white man tell her, the white man told her to do all this. You feel me? The white man told her to do Booty Brown and all that type of stuff. They're using money and all that stuff they finish us off. This is the last part. It's like what can get worse than this? Well, go ahead, my people. Thanks for indulging me.
Thank you, Kevin Samuels.
You're gonna be in some trouble, but hey, I'm gonna actually not disagree with I Can Fire. I think Trigger Happy 262 Plus puts it best, and I think I can kind of get around to it eventually. Trigger in the chat says it's most likely a feedback loop. I think one thing leads to the other, and that other thing leads back to the one thing. So I think, if you really parse what Icon is saying, you realize that, if you have bad women, you're going to get bad men. Bad men are going to help create bad women as well. I think that's a part of the thing. And usually around here, there's folks who would just say, well, just leave the bad women alone or the bad. But the problem with that is that they're influencing. And that's the hard part about it.
Yes. And it only takes, one more thing. It only takes 17 years. It only takes 17 years for a woman to unleash another set of hooligans on the society. You hear? 17 years. That's all it takes. You feel me? Sorry, please, one more second, sir. If things don't change, that's how things revolve. Every 17 years, another set of hooligans. So look at when we was 17. We had a lot of bullies and gangsters and what the hell ever. They're not the same ones who is doing this. They all people like me now, right? But you have 17-year-olds destroying the goddamn neighborhood right now. What's doing that? It's the woman. You feel me? Where are they now in your program? I see a lady, but if women was interested in real Black consciousness and Pan-Africanism, there would be 7,000 people on your panel right now. Like how Tariq Nasheed have 7,000 people on his panel creating mischief. You understand? You see? All right, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. With that said, man, let me hear from Real Black Gentleman. RBG would say it.
Oh, my bad. Well, I mean, a lot of it's all about, who's paying, who's distributing, whose microphone it is. I mean, the PsyOp, man, it's definitely definitely a psychological thriller. I will say that it is definitely, I had said at one point they're gonna bring out someone, and it's just it's like, if you know anything about comic books, you had you had all the weapons, you know what I'm saying? And then you had weapon 11, you know what I'm saying? They're going to try to bring out a weapon 11 of these female. This on here is not of the Lord, man. It's like that's different. That's different. And you know what I'm saying? It's about portrayal. It's about some sense of modesty and, I guess, just like an upholding, a standing on something. You can't have. First of all, it's all about, you know what I'm saying, naturally. It's just like, is it I mean, damn, is it a PsyOp? Oh my goodness. Like the way the female rappers, they rap like they're female men. I mean, the rap, it doesn't have a sense of femininity to a lot of it. It's just women saying more or less everything that a man would say, and something about baby daddy and pay these bills. Men talk about, getting money because they, you're going to mess up my money. Yeah. But it don't hit the same. It's never, I mean, you do want to rarely talk about, I got to get this money from my but it's not even close. It's about the way the music tends to lead, you know what I'm saying? It's what do I say? It's life imitating art. it's not so much of like, you know, like you said, the feedback loop. It's kind of like you have living people, right? And they create art, right? That's what happened first. But then you have people who see the art and try to imitate the art, right? They don't try to make the art. They try to imitate the art. The life that they live tries to imitate in art form, which is, you know what I'm saying? This doesn't happen in a vacuum. Like you said, you don't say little kid. It's like it kind of stacks one on top of the other. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just you have it's like you have Remy Ma, you have Nicki Minaj, you have Cardi B, then you had Meg Thee Stallion, then you have, you know, it's just like Gorilla, then you have there's a Doechii. They kind of just stack, and then it's just stacks right on top. It doesn't happen in a vacuum, and it's just like there's a trend towards it. Otherwise, it wouldn't. You have people who recognize people who have a draw towards it. So if they have the means to captivate an audience, well, we'll kind of cultivate these artists and kind of put them out there. And you see what I'm saying? It's not a natural thing. In a lot of cases, a lot of these women are not dumb. Meg is, you know, she's going to college. She's not a dummy. She knows about, you know what I'm saying, the lyrics and like how, you know, say how you can say things and influence people. I know she's not a dummy. It's just that you can be too clever by half sometimes. You can be so narrow-minded in your actions that you really aren't seeing how ultimately it tears apart. It just tears apart social fabric. You don't want too much of a, I mean, you don't want men to be independent. I mean, let alone an independent woman. Trust me, we got to have men working with each other. Like, men need to work with each other. You can't have too much now you got to be able to work by yourself to some degree. You got to hold your own, you know what I'm saying, to some degree, but no man's an island. It's better to work with each other. Many hands make light work. But with women, the idea, you know what I'm saying, you don't want these bullheaded women, and it doesn't help to nurture any kind of relationship between man and woman, and any kind of like, you can't synergize, you can't synergize with the typical man with a lot of these personalities. They just don't, they don't to just working people. I mean, it's like it turns into, you see these women with millions of dollars. It's like, you don't want anything from me. You're not even trying to any kind of semblance of beyond, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, shake that. I mean, yeah, they do work out. I mean, a lot of these artists do look good. I mean, they look good. I mean, damn. But it's like, beyond that, they open their mouth and it's like, I can't do it. I mean, it's like, is it a PsyOp? The shit's being cultivated for sure. I think I said it once. I'm gonna say it is being cultivated. So that's all I got to say on that.
Appreciate that, RBG. Let me hear from Kofi next on this one. Kofi, what'd you say?
I think I went already.
Oh, you did. My bad. I'm fucking up.
No problem.
My bad.
No problem.
With that said, let's go to Black Steel. I hope I didn't go to Black Steel already.
I'm not against rap. I'm not against rappers, but I am against those thugs. But seriously though, we've always had raunchy, degenerate music, right? Millie Jackson was a thing, but it was understood that music was for adults, not for children, right? There were some things that the kids were kept away from, you know. You couldn't put on a Rudy Ray Moore, you couldn't put on a Rudy Ray Moore album around the kids. You had to wait for them to go to bed first. And I think that's where we're losing the plot, right? Having obscene music isn't so much the issue, because obscene music has always existed. But the issue is having obscene music and playing it around the children. All right. That's the problem. I don't really dislike Sexy Red. I don't feel like female rap is a PsyOp any more than the rap ran by men is. Rap.
Well, wait a minute. This is Mr. Fuck Them Kids, by the way. I just want to remind you.
This is, but I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm not trying to be funny. I will say this. My thoughts on this are that I believe that the music represents. The music it's not the cause, it's the effect. It's an effect, right? It's an effect of being black in America. And they're speaking to some of the issues. Now, rap music, hip hop music has been fully and thoroughly compromised, right? Rap a long time ago, any positive effect that rap had has been drowned out in the media system in between the radio and the concerts. Black people no longer own hip hop music. It's been about 20 years since we own hip hop, right? But that's every musical genre that black people have created, from jazz to blues to disco to ragtime, all that stuff. When we create it, white people swoop in and then they make it more palatable to their people, right? So this agenda of pushing this type of music with this type of content, there is a thought process behind it. It is not a black person's thought process. Not to say that black, again, they should be saying that. There's always been raunchy music, but it usually was just kept between the adults. I have a problem with, Jennifer Hudson talking about she let her son listen to that. I'm sorry, what? You let your son listen to Sexy Red? I don't know how old her son is. He's 16, 17. Okay, whatever. But if he's like 5 and 6, then that's just, that's just beyond the pale. But I just think it just speaks to a larger issue of the music industry, and it has been weaponized against black people in every negative aspect of society. Who was the one rapper who said that when his album comes out, the murder rate is going to go up? How is that a good thing? How is your album released and people kill each other? There was a video at a NBA YoungBoy concert, and these kids are just beating up on people in the stand like it's like a mosh pit. But that's the type of lyrics that he puts out. Fuck a nigga, kill a nigga, stab a nigga, rob a nigga. Just constant negativity, and you can't hear that without internalizing some of that. When I growing up in the 80s and 90s, we had that type of stuff. NWA was out, but we also had Public Enemy. You had like Queen Latifah. Where are the sisters who are putting out the type of life affirming positive rap music? I'm not saying they don't exist, because they do, but there's no radio play from them. Even if every black person in America listens to the album, it still wouldn't move the needle, because again, once you get above a certain certain money or certain amount of streams, that's all white people driving that, and white people want to hear black degenerate music, and because we don't control or own the airwaves, the black degenerate music is what's going to be highlighted, right? Again, Sexy Red is not a lyricist. I mean, even Lil Kim was raunchy back in the day, but at least Lil Kim could rap. This girl can barely talk, let alone rap. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, because to say female rap is a psyop, are you saying that male rap isn't? All rap music is a psyop. All of them are. And again, raunchy music. I'm not the modesty police, but I do feel like there's certain things that children should not be exposed to, and that's definitely one of them. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Black Seal, to your point, the truth of the matter is that they market this music to children. Sexy Red is directly marketed to children. They had Sexy Red in a high school when she first come out on some bullshit, and all the kids knew the lyrics and stuff like that. So the music in general, the degenerate music is marketed to children, but specifically her whole look, she's colorful and all this shit. The whole thing is just marketed to children. With that said, let me hear from Jacadero. Jacadero would say.
Coco, is it okay if I project an image on the screen? Is that okay?
If you can, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So this, guys, is so we talk about who. All right. The girl in the video talked about is female rap a PsyOp and how the music from female rap majority is this. I think it's called sex harlot rap. Pretty much, of course, debauchery, but promiscuity, and then also just not respecting any authority, let alone male authority, just no authority whatsoever. Yeah, these days we're not listening to music from legacy media, radio, MTV, etc. We're listening from streaming platforms. This is the team from one of the more popular, if not the populous streaming platform. This is who allows Sexy Red to go on and on and on and on and on. Look at these individuals. Look at there's only one. Look who's in the middle. Look who's in the middle. It's just one guy. And who's to say what kind of brain this guy has? You think this guy's looking out for your guys' little black boys and little black girls? You think this guy is? No, absolutely not. No. The rest of these guys, they don't care. They're about profit. You know? This guy's probably a Jew right here, 100%. She's probably a Jew. Guarantee this guy's.
Ooh, you said the J word?
Shit, let's get into it. Why not? You know, this Charlie Kirk said worse, so we gonna roll with it, right? An eye for an eye or a neck for a neck. But you know, these are these are the individuals, guys, that put these artists in your guys' brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews. If you guys have children, these guys, like Koku was just establishing, all these individuals are the individuals that make it so that way Sexy Red, Glorilla, Flo Milli shit. These are the likes of why they're heard. You know, like there's so many artists, but you always have to ask why. Of course, they're signed to record labels that have partnerships, probably do weekly lunches, weekly golf outings with the record labels. These guys are the ones that are going golfing with the record label owners. So they say, okay, yo, take 10 of our artists this week and I'll buy you lunch, you know, for the whole week next week. You know, it's probably a deal like that. But nonetheless, it's like Spotify has been proven. It's been proven that, and I stopped sharing the screen. It's been proven that the likes of Spotify, when they have playlists, these playlists are financially incentivized. So the record label approaches Spotify and says, hey, we have 3 artists. We'll give you, wink, wink, we'll give you some money. Go ahead and promote these 3 artists that we got on our label onto the Spotify playlist of the week in this specific genres. So like hip hop, rap, whatever. You're hearing Sexy Red instead of, I think Rhapsody, most of her catalog isn't this sex harlot catalog or the stuff that you're seeing on the screen right now with, you know, people dancing in front of KFC. What's ironic about this is like, we all know how like this stuff is bad, but like it behooves this girl in this red skirt that we don't see anymore. Like she's on the verge of a cardiac arrest. I'm imagining her. You know what? This is not about her weight and her body, but nonetheless is like these type of image, these type of songs. A lot of us would be very surprised to find out that it's more categorically targeted more than we think, and it goes back to that team. That team that you saw, they don't care. They only care about profit. Remember, I think there was that one recorded. Well, I think one of the Bone Thugs members said that he had overheard a meeting about record executives saying that they made a deal, blah blah blah, and they're, you know, the whole moving on forward, they're going to try to slowly destroy the Black community. That might be there, but it's also up to each and every one of us. An example that we had, there was a few years ago that Black China, the baby mama of Tyga, if you guys don't know who these people are, you are so blessed. Nyasai has blessed you. Just when you go to sleep tonight, thank whatever African deity that you have in your life that you don't know these names. Okay, I shouldn't know these names. But Black China went to Nigeria, and one of the controversies is that she was promoting a skincare routine, and among the skincare packaging was she had one of the products, a skin lightening lotion or something like that. And there was, backlash. Oh, like how could she go to Nigeria and promote skin lightening? But why? The biggest question should be is why did her team already have intel that was going to be able to sell in Nigeria? Why? Like, that's like a pork butcher going to Somalia and thinking that he's going to make money. That wouldn't happen because they know, we ain't eating pork. We smoking hookah for sure. We eating a lot of bananas. We not eating pork though. So like, why, how come her team knew that there was a potential to make money from skin lightening? Like, so a lot of this falls on us, I brought up Hold the Line earlier, and I have major indifferences with Tariq Nasheed, but one of the things that he showed me during this Charlie Kirk thing is that, hell yeah, this guy's standing on business. He's gonna call it out as it is and say, hey, your guys' cracker died. You guys' cracker got killed. And I'm sorry, YouTube, Coco, I hope this video doesn't get flagged, but nonetheless is that we got to hold the line though. We got to start saying to ourselves, like, what can we do? Does it take one of us getting into a Spotify front office and saying like, okay, hey, like when I get approached with this type of proposition, do I take it? Do I leave it? I don't know, but I know this is that like, we can start to say each and every one of us knows at least one DJ. DJs are kind of like Instagram models, right? Everybody knows at least one. So we can start saying to the DJs next time you DJ a graduation party, yo, stop playing that shit, bro. Next time you DJ, a wedding reception, bro, just stick to the old hits, man. We don't need, whether it's the sex harlot rap or the drill rap, we don't need this. It starts with us. Again, we can't stop people from listening to whatever they're listening to in their headphones or earpods. But at least for the public events, the informal events, we can at least tell the DJs and other music selectors, cut that out. We're not going to entertain that. And that's it.
Next week, Shoot the Bridge topic number 1 is going to be, why do Somalis eat so much bananas, according to Jack. That was an odd piece of information tonight, but okay. With that said, thanks to Jackadero. Finally, let's hear from a Black woman. That'll be Sister Cheryl. Cheryl, what are your thoughts on what you've seen and heard so far?
Okay. Oh my goodness. So, all right. Shoot, where did I even start? So I just want everybody to like, there's a woman, and all right, this is for like all of the people, because I hear this a lot with like, quote unquote, the older generation of people. And I'm not talking about like the 70s, the 60s, 70s, the 80s. I'm talking about the 30s. Like, my grandma was 10 years old when this music was out. This woman, she looked like a young Meg Thee Stallion. Her name is Lucille Bogus.
I know that song, Drain 'Em Dry.
It's a lot of them. It's not just that one. It's a lot of them. It's not just one. It's a bunch of them. I mean, this is the 30s. Like, I don't want to hear no boomers. That's why it's like this hashtag nowadays with this hashtag okay boomer, because that's what we say. We like a boomer say something crazy, we just like okay boomer, because y'all don't even, y'all got amnesia. They got amnesia because like all of this music, all of this freaky deaky music, they had that in the 30s. So I don't want to hear nothing from no older people talking about, oh, this generation messed up and da 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 da. I don't want to hear none of it. But yeah, just moving on from that. The when show the Jews and everything and how they like in control of everything. That's 100% true. Because if you even look at the oh, goodness, hold on. If you look at the forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, like Jewish people, like they got control over all of that stuff. So I mean, like the content of like the things that they do, it's like literally how white people think about us. It's like they just use black people who maybe they fall on hard times and they need a come up, and they use those type of people. That's why you got people like, it's not even just women. So it's like Lil Nas X. He's gayer than gay, and he do all of this crazy gay stuff, and he's like I don't know, he's like fucking a unicorn. He's like, he does crazy stuff. Like he's just crazy and out there. But this is the type of stuff that white people, this is like what white people get off on. This is what they do. Like, so it's just like, yeah, it's like somebody came in and was talking, they was like, oh yeah, the female this, the female that, whatever. That's like some Kevin Samuels crap. That's whatever. It's like, because it's rap period. But what I'm trying to say is like, they do stuff like this to try to, create that divide and everything. But you got music that's been like this. Like you got music that's Jamaican music when they talking all crazy stuff, and I know what they saying just because my husband is Jamaican. So I mean, I just be listening to Jamaican music all the time. The only reason Jamaican music get a pass because nobody in America know what they saying. If you play that stuff on the radio, don't nobody know what they saying. The regular person American don't know, but they be saying some freaky stuff too. But I think there's a line that can be drawn on the sexual stuff, because our music can be sexual without being degrading. Like it's okay. It's like it's baby making music. We've always had that. But when you start getting into marketing products like lip gloss and all this good, that's white people like fantasies. That's white people's like that's just like that's what they live for. They love that type of stuff. That's what they get off on. But the sexual stuff has a line. It's okay. But when you start getting into all that other stuff, that's white people stuff. That's what they like. They just take a black person and he's falling on hard times. They exploit them and they say, well, just do this. And they may not even really want to do it, but they do it because it's money. So that's all it is.
You're my pretty baby. Wagwan. You be.
Yeah, because Koku, I want to put this in a Caribbean context, because my African American brothers and sisters did it in a American context. So if you all allow me, I'll put this in the Caribbean context. And the first thing I'd have to ask is, what is considered as women's empowerment? I am confused. I completely confused. Because in the Caribbean, I grew up listening to people like Marcia Griffith. I don't know if my American people will know the electric slide. You all know the electric slide and all that kind of things. And we used to listen to Sister Nancy and Rita Marley. That was our ideal of women's empowerment back in the day. Okay, and then in the 90s, you had this feminist kind of idea that came around when you started listening to people like Tanya Stevens, when you start listening to people like Lady Saw, they had a different kind of message to females, very different kind of message.
Patra.
And Patra, these kind of images that you see, you know, I remember these things. And then you had a split. You had the people like Queen Africa, who was still singing kind of very music that was very similar to Marcia Griffiths them back in the 70s, just a little different. And then you had Kofi, this lady right now, this young girl right now is Coffee, they call her Coffee. I watch her in the video. Hold on, Icon Fire, because I know you can go. But you had her siding up next to this other woman. It looked very strange. Very strange. So I am asking for the what is women empowerment? What is women advancement? Because if you're taking us to a thing would look like almost like a lesbian kind of thing, that's strange to me. Because that's not really where we're supposed to be going. And then if you're saying that it's a conscious music, I am familiar with that. I understand that. But then you have this little strain of feminism where you black men is doing this and black men doing that. So we go respond and be reactionary in our music. I am very confused. But to Icon Fire's point, and I want to talk to his point. The brethren say that in his experience, the black females seem like they going after the white man. It's almost like they divest.
No, not going
That's
after
crazy.
the white
You
man.
know why that's crazy? Because the
Bow to the
majority,
white man.
that's crazy.
Let me finish and everybody can respond. So it seemed like they trying to go, well, they admire, they put the white man on the pedestal. That's not necessarily been my experience. But what I would say is this, how I date women as a grown man now is I kind of look at a background. I kind of see whether there is any kind of male figure in her background that she kind of respect and honor. And I date women off for that because I recognize that if you going through generations without ever seeing or witnessing how men supposed to properly function in a relationship, I will never be respected. Never, because I consider myself as a man and I function as a man in my relationship. And a woman who has never experienced that or had experience of that, she don't know what I am. I am an oddity to her. You know, I am strange to her. So I try to find female relationships where they had at least had a dad or some brother or some male figure to say, I like him, I respect him, I understand how they function. So if I love a man like myself, I can understand how they function in a relationship to me. So that's how I flow and function. I don't kind of date, and maybe that's prejudicial, but I don't date women who really never see a man in their foundational experience, if you understand what I'm saying. But I'll let everyone else go. I'm done.
Oh, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. To address the lady, with what I was speaking about, I would say yes, you can ignore what I'm saying. You feel me? But I would like to say that what's going on is the women are sneaky. Women are sneaky, and they have a psychological problem that they are sneaky with. You feel me? And it plays out in their action, not their words. You feel me? For the most part. Some of them will deliberately tell you, but most black women have this psychological problem that they don't tell people. They don't tell people that they are white lovers. They don't tell you that they love the white man more than you. And in their actions, they have more diligence to the white man more than you. They don't tell you that they would like females to have certain empowerment over you. For instance, the black woman can determine if the black man becomes a bookworm or becomes um generally people that goes to college. But is that the case? The case is women are paying more attention educationally to on their daughters, and women are actually on purpose denying their sons of intensified education and trade. You feel me? And now the statistics is where some women are boasting how they are the educated ones. You feel me? And they are making more money off food stamps. You feel me? And they and the men don't go to college. That's what the women are saying. And who brought up those men? You see, that's what they're not talking about. Who are raising these men? Them. It's them doing it. You feel me? That's what they're not telling you, that they are undermining their own sons in order to prove a point they they are more educated and have more rank than the black man. They are making unprepared husband for other women. You feel me? It is women doing it all. All the disadvantage they going through in their adult years, it's still women who raise these men that's disadvantaging them and give them the type of thinking that cause disadvantage. You feel me? So that's what I'm trying to tell you, that the women have a psychological problem. It's just white loving that's doing it. Why majority of women wear wigs? Why do they? It's self-hate. It is not confidence. It's lack of confidence in self. It's lack of fight. It's cowardly. It's a lack of fight against the society, the society's beauty standard. You feel me? And women are tired of fighting, or they don't want to fight like how, and they don't want to go to the organizations that is stipulating that they should wear their natural hair and cover modestly and speak black consciousness and speak Pan-Africanism and black upliftment. The women know where those is. How much women are endorsing Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey? Instead, the women make sure these people's name are silent in their homes. The women make sure none of these teachings goes on in their homes. Now they're raising pure homos coming out of their houses. You feel me? So it's a terrible thing going on in the black world, where the black woman think that a weak black man is better for the white man to be comfortable. You feel me? And I'm trying to say to the lady that if we plan on winning anything, can we do it without the white man, the black woman? Can we win anything without the black woman? And if we cannot, shouldn't we consider the black woman's behavior and her aim, and what is her outcome? What is the outcome of her actions? That I end there.
Any other last thoughts by the panel?
Oh yes.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Do you date non-black women?
Me, I only obligate myself to black women.
Okay. So I'm not sure how you grew up. I'm not sure what your personal experiences are, but the same things that you're describing are things that happen on both sides. And if we're looking at one thing that quote unquote Black women are doing, and we're not examining the society as a whole, and we're not examining what puts Black people in certain situations, I think you're doing all of us a disservice. And it's not benefiting anyone by just saying Black women this, Black women that, da 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 da. We don't want to go back and forth. This is not a competition between Black men and Black women. What we want to try to do is get to the root of the problem. So if your root of your problem does not involve white supremacy, then I don't understand. Then what you're really discussing is not. You're not getting to the
I
root.
mean, look at this. Look at this. The root of our problem is white supremacy. Then why do we have to tug of war with the Black woman? Don't you understand? We are in what I'm trying to say is we the men are in a tug of war with the Black woman. She's not helping. She's not dealing with the protection of the man's family and have the man go fight the war. She is out there destabilizing the Black community so the man can't focus on white supremacy. When
Are you currently in a tug of war with a Black woman?
all right, okay, just let me say this, right?
You're not answering the question.
You see, you see, getting individual is not even solving the problem. Speaking about my personal life, it's not the case either. First of all, I did not mention your personal life. You feel me? Hold on. What I go through, first of all of us go through the same thing, and there are many examples of what I'm saying right around all of them, us, for Black people. When it comes to Black women, Black woman is a monolith. If you mean, in case anybody didn't know, if you mean, Black woman is a monolith. A lot of them feel shame in going against another Black woman. I don't know if they want to be friends or remain friends or whatever, but Black women seem to have a problem going against the wigs, going against bad attitudes of Black women, going against the what you call the rift between Black men and women. You feel me? Going against the sudden independence that Black women want, since our women in general want, since the man invented the flush toilet. As all of a sudden Black women, every woman want independence. But before flush toilet, there was no mention of women wanting independence. You feel me? I mean, like, why do you want this independence after the city is built? That's why I'm talking. That's the thing with you women. Where were you? Where were you wanting independence when there was no city and you had the shit in the bush? Why didn't you want independence then? If you mean, that's the whole thing with you women that you don't understand. If you mean, this is a man's world. We built it for you to be comfortable. But as soon as you're comfortable, you're talking about you want an independence when you can't build a city.
Okay, so I'm married.
This is very misogynistic.
I'm dying here. I'm dying right now.
This is crazy.
All Black women have to do is work with the Black man so we can be reinforced in order for us to build cities for you and manage things that you could be comfortable, instead of you longing after the white man to make you comfortable instead of the Black man.
Why are you generalizing all Black women? Like,
can I talk?
That's very short-sighted.
Well, it's 90%. It's 90%. Might as well I generalize.
Okay, can I talk? Can I talk for a second? So number one, I'm not sure if you're talking to me or if you're talking to all Black women, but I'm married. I'm married to a Black man. So you can.
I think that's good.
But let me just say this real quick, because it's late. We don't want to, overdo this with a back and forth. I'll just say this.
Crazy.
I think there's a balance to the blame game here. I think men dropped the ball. I think women have dropped the ball. And I think, like Trigger Happy, who's eating popcorn for some reason in the chat, I think there's this feedback loop that's happening where, honestly, men are not as present in the home, helping to raise these boys and stuff like that. So they're under the tutelage of not all, but some women who are not, on top of the ideology of consciousness. And so we get boys who are made who are not conscious, and girls who are, and so forth and so on. I think we got to keep that in mind, that it's not one gender to blame. I think it's both of us. And it's important to root this issue in the attack by whiteness as well. But as also, we have to be honest. Us as men have dropped the ball. And I'm not gonna lie, Iconspire said something earlier that is kind of true. If you try to go out there and beat the pavement and deal with some of these young fellas out here, you'll get your head sting right off. That's just a fact of the matter. And a lot of them were raised by single mothers. So the blame goes both ways. So let's not do a back and forth about men and women, but instead, let's try to offer some balanced solution to it. And we can sign this off by 1 o'clock. All right.
On the next episode of Fresh and Fit.
Shirley, go ahead.
Next week on Kevin Samuels.
It's crazy. It sounds like Kevin. It sounds like he had a bad personal experience, and I know what he's talking about. He's talking about the feminist movement, whatever. All women aren't. All women aren't on the feminist movement. Like that's he's talking about a very specific sector of women, and it's whatever. He's been done wrong. I know a lot of people have been done wrong, but that doesn't mean you bash all Black women.
I was hurt, right? Somebody hurt me.
We're not here for that. We're trying to find, this platform is not about, this isn't a Kevin Samuels platform. This is a platform for Black excellence. This is a platform for finding solutions to our issues. This isn't a platform for doing all that foolishness. It's just ridiculous.
All right. If we don't have any final thoughts, man, let's go to my oftentimes favorite part of the show. Let's go to the shout outs, man. This is where you get to shout out anything positive in your neck of the woods or in the Black world in general. What would you guys like to shout out? Let me start with Jacadero, because I know he has a party to get to. Jacadero, what would you like to shout out this week?
Thanks, Koku. I appreciate that. Hey, give me a moment to think. Let's big shout out to Kenyan President William Ruto. He was, I'd say, the only voice that I had seen during the UN General Assembly this week, the only African voice that advocated for an African or a Caribbean seat at the UN Security Council as a permanent seat. There's never been an African, an Asian, a Latino, but just anything global South. But I'm Black, so advocating for an African nation to have a permanent seat at the UN Security Council, and he was the only one that pretty much had a majority of his speech advocating for that and saying, and pretty much giving a in politics, whenever they give you a threat, it's usually a soft threat, and saying like, what are we doing here? He said to the crowd, he said, we've been doing this thing for how many years, and still there's no representation. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we still doing here? And if nothing's changing, why are we still here? Basically saying like, hey, we might just go ahead and just join BRICS, and we could be just done with this. So shout out to William Ruto. And then of course, shout out to the Empowerment Network, based out of Omaha, Nebraska. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. We are your consultant's favorite consultant. We do everything the likes of real estate, finance, entrepreneurship, tech, finance tech, sister cities, including that we partner with are Tulsa, Oklahoma, Houston, Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Kansas City, Kansas, and Missouri, and everything outside. And in between, that's www.empoweromaha.com, the official website of the #1 Black empowerment network in the game.
Appreciate that, Jack. Black Seal, what would you like to shout out this week?
I want to shout out to the Shakur family. We lost Tupac, lost Afeni, we lost Mutulu Shakur, now we lost Sada. So, just a loss, even though she died free, she wasn't able to return home. And now Marco Rubio is talking about keeping her remains from being returned to the U.S. as if she wanted to be returned to this raggedy ass country in the first place. Anyways, may she rest in peace along with the other members of the Shakur family.
Good stuff, Black Seal. Appreciate that. I echo that sentiment as well. Real Black Gentleman, RBG, what would you like to shout out this week?
I want to shout out the kids that actually what I want to shout out is all the black people who walked out on Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? Who walked out on Netanyahu. That got me going. But I want to shout out them kids at Tennessee State when you know what I'm saying, them boys try to, impromptu on some, you know what I'm saying, try to, be extra, you know what I'm saying, just be a little extra about the protesting. They basically chased them off the campus. I gotta give a shout out to young people for that, because that was fun too. That was fun. White people trying to, just it's just different when you got, you know what I'm saying, if you're just trying to just show up and make a point and trying to cover that under, free speech, you know what I'm saying, you gotta approach people with dignity first, and you can't always try to have your say about stuff. It just doesn't. It won't rub people the right way. You have to like when you come to people's places, you can't come on no pretense. You can't come on like, everything is everything. You like, you know what I'm saying, like us. We just come here to, you know what I'm saying. No, the people not having it, especially in light of the threats to the HBCUs. Yeah, like, black people ain't playing. That's what I mean. It's like black people know what's going on. I mean, we have these gaps, but you know what I'm saying, there was no rapture at Tennessee State. Let's say that. So I just want to give a shout out to the young people at Tennessee State University.
Appreciate that, RBG. With that said, Kofi, the heathen tonight. Kofi, would you like to shout out?
Pretty much everyone hit the nail on the head with everything I was gonna say. Shout out to Shakur and her family. Shout out to just black people everywhere being vigilant in this day and age, no matter where you are on the globe. If you're on the continent, if you're in the states of United States of America, we're persevering and we got our heads above water. I would like to say shout out to some of the people of Tennessee State. I don't know if you did that last week, but I think that's something that will be good to talk about, because from what I've seen on that video in the beginning, it seemed like everything was being fine. They were having an actual debate, but as more black students came around, they got more rambunctious and a little bit out of pocket, and then that's what made them to be moved. I mean, my POV on that would be is you beat these people with the truth, because a lot of things they were saying was like DEI and immigration, and they had a lot of right-wing ideology on what DEI and immigration is. And in the beginning, everything was going well. It got rambunctious. To me, that's just is a sign of showing that our black youth are not able to have intellectual debate back and forth. But I do understand, some people didn't want to have that. But shout out to them anyway. I like the warrior spirit either way. Peace.
Yeah, Bakari was talking to me about that earlier during the week. We got to talk about that next week for sure. Thank you for that, Kofi. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Kofi's channel. He goes live usually once a week, and usually a very good conversation. So check him out. I Can Fly. What would you like to shout out this week? I can you mute it if you're still there.
Oh yes, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to say shout out to all the fallen children of abortion. Also, I want to say shout out to all the fallen soldiers that died in gang violence caused by women. And I want to say shout out to all the male and female who endorse Black consciousness and who endorse Pan-Africanism. You feel me? So, and I want to say shout out to all the people on the panel. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I think you're on the Discord. If you are not, click the link in the description. Join the Discord and help some conversations going. I actually like hot takes sometimes, so make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already.
What's that?
The Discord is like a server. It's a community that we have for the Bitter Medicine podcast where people can post shoot the breeze topics that they want to have discussed, and we also have other little commentary that goes on as well. Kofi was huge. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Kofi was huge this week and trying to stir up some conversation. So click the link in the description that says Discord and come through. So yeah. With that said, I know Cheryl was here. I guess she dipped, but there's a icon. If you look in the private chat, you'll see the link for the Discord. Kofi just put it up. Cheryl, if you're out there, you can come back, give you a shout out. In the meantime, Buana, what would you like to shout out this week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's a few things I want to shout out. First of all, peace to the ancestor. She's with the ancestors now. Asada Shakur, bless her life and all her contributions to the Black world and all the things she contributed to the Black world. She is a real African revolutionary, point blank, and no additives needed. So shout out to her life and all her work. Shout out to Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles. I know the brothers on the panel like to watch boxing and stuff like that. And I like boxing too with Bud Crawford. Shout out to him. But I like track and field too. So so shout out to Noah Lyles in winning the 200. He'll never catch Usain Bolt. Never in his lifetime. But shout out to him for no. Shout out to him for competing. He did a good thing. Shout out to my Jamaican massive. The ladies, I don't know what they're eating in Jamaica because they are killing the game. So shout out to my Jamaican sisters for carrying the torch and bringing them gold medals back to the Caribbean, of course. So shout out to my sisters. Shout out to Noah Niles for marrying or being engaged with our Jamaican sister. I don't know why Icon Fire didn't introduce me to her before Noah Niles, but needless to say, she's a beautiful lady. And also shout out to all the brothers on the panel who contributed tonight and did give valuable contributions. I kind of was trying to teeter the line in providing that prompt because my thing is to try to create a sense of unity, because I know that on YouTube, man, it's always argument among us. It's always different kinds of arguments going on, and I try to bring us together in a way to try to at least bring a little bit of a oasis with all the differences that we have among each other. But even though we have to have difficult conversations, so I still embrace the difficult conversations we need to have. So I respect the dialogue, even though we disagree. They need to happen from time to time. But shout out to all the brothers and sisters, Shirley's and Matron, and my Bahamian sister who always listening in, and all the other ladies. Marcus Garvey's the way I know she listens as well. So shout out to all the ladies who contribute and listen from time to time, and all the brothers who equally contribute and listen from time to time. I'll just leave it there.
Thank you for that, Buana. Cheryl has returned to give her shout out. Cheryl, what would you like to shout out this week?
Yeah, I'll shout out Trigger Happy. He sent me a link. I think it was about Kemet versus neocolonialism. I think it was by Shakara. I'll check that out later. But it's pretty lengthy, but I will check that out. Also shout out to Shakari Richardson in the 4x4. She killed it. Shout out to Shelly and Fraser. She killed. They killed it.
I didn't watch it. I gotta watch that.
They destroyed it. It was crazy. But also shout out to Shelly Ann Fraser Price. Yeah, I think she's like 18 world medals, something like that. But she's great. She didn't get this one, but she got a silver, but she's still great. But yeah, I love track and field.
Appreciate that, show. I just want to shout
Oh,
out.
one last person, Coco. One last person. Shout out to Dr. Ian Roberts. Dr. Ian Roberts is a Guyanese superintendent in Iowa, and the ICE going to arrest him. ICE arrested him. I were pumped up about it next week, but ICE arrested him, and they take him into custody. I guess he didn't get his paper straight, you know. So Trump then get sent him back to Guyana. But shout out to Ian Roberts, man, Dr. Ian Roberts, man.
You're trying to give me a warning, Buana? My paper straight, man.
Yeah, I hope your paper straight because he gave back too. You gave back too.
No, my papers is straight. He's trying to give me a warning. Thanks for the warning, though. He's looking for GT people. All right.
Sorry about that. My computer is kind of running slow. So I mentioned a few times tonight the Discord. Super important you guys join and continue some of these conversations. That's a feature that's going to be coming up where once I start clipping up these episodes, I'm going to put some clips up there so we could further some of the conversations. Last week, shout out to Trigger Happy. I think it was last week, he put up a lengthy comment for the panelists. So you guys could go check that out and comment to it. But on the Discord this week, Kofi was the all-star this week. I'm up there. Jacadero's there. Buana. Azuli is up there. I think that's Provide Triggers. Black Seal is up there. Trigger Happy is up there. And Jose Braun. So you guys can also be the weekly MVP of discussions. Whenever and at everyone is hit, that means all you guys are getting the message. So just chime in on those conversations so that we could have a community of people who discuss, you know, ideas and things like that. Shout out to Real Black Gentleman who joined recently as well. With that said, man, we should be back next week. And until then, I want you guys to be good, and I'll see you later. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast with your host, Koku. If you like what you just heard, we hope you pass along our web address, bittermedicineblogs.com, to your friends and colleagues, and share our show to all your social media. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been a KWAZ radio production. Join us next time for another session of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Bitter Medicine Show, Twitter, Bitter Meds, Tumblr, Bitter Meds, Instagram, Bitter Medicine.